So, have you ever been scrolling online and seen these weird strings of numbers pop up? People claiming they're way more than just digits, that there's some kind of code for reality itself. Well, today, we're going to dive right into what they are, where this idea comes from, and why so many people believe they hold the keys to the universe. Okay, take a look at this number 5207418. I mean, at first glance, it's just a random sequence, right? But what if it's not? What if it's more like a password or something even stranger? Because according to a pretty big online community, that's exactly what this is. They say this number is a literal cheat code for attracting unexpected money. It's all part of this system called Grabovoi codes. And that brings up a pretty wild question, doesn't it? How could a simple string of numbers possibly have any effect on your bank account? To even start to wrap our heads around that, we have to look at the theory behind it all. This idea that our brains can actually be tuned to a completely different reality.
So this system was created by a Russian mathematician named Grigory Grabovoi, and his whole claim is that every sequence of numbers vibrates at a very specific frequency. The idea is, by focusing on that number, you can tune your own personal energy to match it, and in doing so, you can literally materialize what you desire.
The best way to understand this is with an analogy. Think of your brain like a radio receiver. Your thoughts, your feelings, that's the dial. And you're constantly tuning into different stations or different realities. In this belief system, these number codes are like the exact frequency you need to dial into a specific station, whether that's for wealth or health or, well, pretty much anything else.
So how do people actually do this? Well, it's a whole process. They might write the code on their wrist or on a piece of paper. Then they repeat the digits one by one. And here's the really important part. They visualize the outcome as if it's already a done deal. The whole point is to try and sync your own consciousness up with the code's unique vibration. Okay, but this is where the whole story gets so much bigger. I mean, if these numbers are frequencies, then where's the radio station? Where is all this information supposedly being broadcast from?
The answer, according to believers, lies in a concept that's way, way older and much grander than any modern number system. It's something they call the Akashic Records.
The famous American psychic Edgar Cayce had this incredible way of describing it. He called the records a movie theater of the physical world, a place where you could literally watch a replay of any event from any point in history. It's this vision of a living, breathing, totally accessible archive of, well, everything. So what are they, exactly? Think of it like a spiritual database or a universal library. Proponents believe it's this huge energetic field that contains a complete record of every single thought, event, and experience for every soul across all of time. And listen, if you're thinking this sounds like some modern New Age idea, it's really not. You find versions of this universal library in countless ancient traditions. It's the Book of Life in Hebrew tradition, the Hall of Records in ancient Egypt, the preserved tablet in Islam. The basic concept has been with us for thousands of years. So on one hand, we've got these mysterious number codes, and on the other, this ancient idea of a universal library. Well, this is where those two things connect. The codes are basically presented as one of the modern keys to unlock that ancient library. Believers will tell you there isn't just one way to get a library card for the cosmos. Apparently, you can access this huge field of information in lots of different ways, and these number codes, they're just one of the more modern methods to pop up. Let's just break down a few of the approaches. So you have psychic readings, where someone like Claudia Segabon claims they can go in and access the records for you. Then there's the deep self-exploration through meditation. That's the method Edgar Cayce used. And finally, you've got the numerical codes like Grabovoi's, which are seen as a kind of energetic address that can pinpoint very specific information. But all of this leads to the biggest question of all. Why? Why would anyone want to access this universal hard drive in the first place? What's the real goal here? For people who believe in this, it all comes down to one thing: understanding your soul blueprint. It's this idea that your soul actually came into this life with a specific plan, a kind of energetic design, and a unique purpose. And what's in that blueprint? Well, people are looking for answers to life's biggest questions. What's my soul's mission? What are the key lessons I'm supposed to be learning? Are there karmic patterns I need to break? They even look for things called soul contracts, agreements they believe their soul made before this life even started. And here's a really, really important distinction they make. The goal isn't to predict some fixed, unchangeable future. The idea is that you are remembering the purpose and the lessons that you chose for yourself before you were even born. It's about recalling a plan you've forgotten, not foreseeing one that's unwritten.
Which, of course, leaves us with one last fascinating question to think about. If you had a map of your soul's journey, all of its lessons, its patterns, all laid out in front of you, would you change the path you're on right now? Would you do anything differently at all?